50 years ago, on June 20th, 1975, was the first summer blockbuster thanks to the goat of movie creators, Steven Spielberg.
Meaning, this was no boat accident. Did you notify the Coast Guard about this?
No.
Well, this is not a boat accident. It wasn't any propeller, and it wasn't Jack the Ripper. It was a shark.
And if you're one of those people that believe all old movies are not good, I would highly recommend watching Jaws. And if your kids aren't scared easily, it's a good family movie as well.
Calling Jaws a classic hardly does it justice. When it hit theaters in 1975, it wasn't just a success, it was a phenomenon. The film shattered box office records to become the highest-grossing movie of its time and catapulted a young Steven Spielberg into the Hollywood stratosphere. Here are the top 10 weird facts you may not know. The key word being may, because you might be a superfan and know them all. Either way,
And the channel that this is from is Movies We Love. There's many videos like this, but I thought this one was pretty good. And I just love movies, and it's kind of crazy to think that the whole concept of a blockbuster movie is 50 years old, and this was an accidental discovery. I don't. I believe this was Spielberg's first big movie. I could be wrong.
I hope you enjoy the video. Number 1. Jaws began as Peter Benchley's best-selling novel, inspired by true stories that were just as terrifying as the film itself. Benchley drew from the infamous 1916 shark attacks off the coast of New Jersey, where a rogue shark killed 4 people, and a jaw-dropping 1964 catch by New York fisherman Frank Mundus, who hauled in a 4,500-pound great white off Montauk.
You all know me. Know how I earn a living. I'll catch this bird for you, but it ain't gonna be easy. Bad fish. This shark, swallow you whole.
Number 2. Susan Backlini took on the unforgettable role of Chrissy Watkins, the doomed skinny dipper in the opening scene. Backlini was a swimwear model spotted in a magazine. When pitched to Spielberg, the director asked, "Yeah, but can she act?" The producer shrugged and said, "I don't know, but look at her." To simulate the violent thrashing of a shark attack, Backlini was strapped into underwater rigging while 5 crew members on either side yanked her back and forth.
Don't go in the water.
Number 3. One infamous problem became Hollywood legend. The mechanical shark, never properly tested, constantly malfunctioned and sank, costing weeks of repair time. With the film in jeopardy, Spielberg made a bold pivot. He'd hide the shark instead of showing it early. As he put it, "I started making a Hitchcock movie instead of a Godzilla movie." Originally set to appear in the opening scene, the shark wouldn't be seen until 1 hour and 21 minutes into the final cut.
Finally, after all this, it was maybe September, and we got the shark to raise out of the water. And it just barely worked.
Okay. Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. You ought to come down and ladle some of this shit.
Number 4. Life imitated art on the set, where Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss clashed constantly, just like their characters. Shaw taunted Dreyfuss as fat and out of shape, even daring him to leap 90 feet off the orca. Dreyfuss was game until Spielberg stepped in. "Not in my movie, you don't." Tensions flared again when Shaw, drinking between takes, had his shot glass tossed overboard by Dreyfuss. "Things got ugly," Spielberg later said.
Well, it proves one thing, Mr. Hooper. It proves that you wealthy college boys don't have the education enough to admit when you're wrong.
Number 5. Alex Kintner, the 10-year-old boy who becomes the shark's second victim, was played by Jeffrey Voorhees, while Lee Fierro portrayed his mother. Years later, Fierro was dining at a seafood restaurant in Martha's Vineyard when she noticed a menu item called the Alex Kintner Shark Sandwich. She told the waitress she had played Alex's mother. Moments later, the restaurant owner came out to greet her. It was Jeffrey Voorhees. They hadn't seen each other since filming.
And now back to Jaws
Some legit, some legit effects with that mechanical shark.
5, Fire Island.
You think we should be this far out? Stop worrying, Mark. We'll be fine.
Dinah. Oh, now, wait a minute. I did have a chubby kid on a raft earlier today. It's okay, though. I've been swimming a lot lately. Yummy.
Number 6. The scene where Hooper dives underwater and comes face to face with Ben Gardner's body is one of cinema's biggest jump scares. But it wasn't in the original script. Spielberg came up with it after test screenings, but Universal, already frustrated with the film's bloated budget, refused to fund it. So Spielberg shelled out $3,000 of his own money. The scene was shot in an editor's backyard pool, with milk poured into the water to mimic the murky look of the ocean.
Martin hates boats. Martin hates water. Martin sits in his car when we go on the ferry to the mainland. A clinical name for it, isn't there?
Drowning.
Number 7. Peter Benchley, the author behind the blockbuster novel, made a clever cameo in the film adaptation. Before writing the book that would become a bestseller, Benchley worked as a reporter for the Washington Post, so it was only fitting that he appeared on screen as a TV news reporter during the chaotic 4th of July beach scene, bringing his real-life journalism chops to one of the film's most intense moments.
Gentlemen, the officer asked me to tell you that you're overloading that boat.
They're all gonna die.
Number 8. Chief Brody is tossing Chum overboard when the shark makes its first full appearance. Stunned, Brody backs into the cabin and says the now iconic line, "You're gonna need a bigger boat."
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Though it's one of the most famous quotes in film history, frequently cited in classic movie quote lists, it wasn't in the script. Scheider improvised the line on the spot, adding unexpected humor to a tense moment. Number 9. Post-Jaws hysteria was not just a publicity stunt. One Southern California beach had to be cleared by lifeguards because of a shark sighting panic. Turns out it was dolphins. But the idea of a vengeful rogue shark spurred a national fervor of fear, a drop in beach tourism, and a rise in shark killings.
It's a bull shark. It scraped me when I was taking samples.
I'm gonna leave it there. The rest is, I think, kind of a stretch just to get to 10. But yeah, great movie, guys. If you haven't seen Jaws, check it out. 50 years of the blockbuster, thanks to Spielberg, and just a fun, chill movie. They don't really make movies like that anymore.